Pledge allegiance to the flag.
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Benny Alvarez,
Here.
Supervisor, C3,
Here.
C4,
Here.
C2,
Here.
District Attorney,
Here.
District Treasurer,
Here.
District Engineer,
Here.
District Manager.
Here.
For the record, the chair is running late. He will be present throughout the meeting.
Do we adopt the agenda for the night? Is that what that is? Okay. So we need to adopt the agenda. Motion. Second? Second.
He wants to do amendment to it.
You want to do an amendment?
Yeah, everything that was brought up last meeting to discuss and go over, I want to put it on the agenda officially.
Everything that was brought up last week.
It's all the way in the back. Yeah.
The last
All the way
page,
back.
the last page will be
It's
brought up to
old
this
slash new
agenda.
business.
Leave amendment.
It's about 10 pages before.
It's not my last
It's under the Board of Supervisor report where it has your information. It's on there.
It is?
It's on there. Look at the second page, all the way towards the bottom. It says Board of Supervisors report.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Supervisor Santiago, see attachment?
Okay.
It's the same attachment. It's there.
Okay, so your motion is, so you would like to go with this week?
But to this time to vote on.
Well, okay. Do we have to add that to them? Yes, we do. Okay, we have a motion? Second?
Alright.
All those in favor?
Alright.
Motion carries.
Remember, so there was a guy here, one of the meetings that wanted to make public comment. Like in the middle of the meeting, the chair said, no, public comment is passed. So we're gonna talk about stuff. Should be on the agenda so that if someone wants to say something, they know it's on the agenda. That's why it's really important. There'll be a vote. It's gotta be on the agenda. You can amend the agenda now. So that when public comment comes up, they know what's on the agenda.
It was on the agenda last.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just explaining why we're adopting the agenda.
Okay.
That's,
We're doing some things here that new, so bear with me. All right. So we need approval of the minutes to the last meeting.
Alright.
We need a motion. Motion. To approve the meeting. We have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
All right.
Okay. Motion carried. Yes, the public comment. Okay. I'm just gonna tell you, say what you need to say, and we'll discuss it after the fact. We're not gonna sit here and go on and on and on and on and on and on. So, first one I have is Chris Self.
Yourself, 266 Avenue, Duck Club. I want to challenge seat 4's position because whenever you register to run for that position, you have to hold, or you got to be registered to vote in this district. And Mr. Gonzalez changed his voter's registration on March 23rd, but you spoke about it, March 23rd, and then he changed it back on April 14th, which I got this from Brenda Hoots. So I just want to know from our last conversation, what did you get back from the state from all that? Because it does say in Chapter 14, Section 1, subsection G, it says, all the officers failure to maintain the resident required of him or her by law.
I'm sorry, but what do you read?
From the Florida statute.
I didn't catch that.
Oh, it was Chapter 14. or, yeah, I'm sorry, 114, and that's what, Brady Hoots gave me. They showed me that to hold the position, you have to still,
You want to discuss it? You can come back in another meeting,
So-
it's up to you. Your call.
I'll just very briefly, so Chris called me about this issue, and I've spoken to Brenda 5 or 6 times in the last few weeks. So if you've spoken to her, you know what her position is.
well, she said she's waiting on you. That you're supposed to contact the state, and that the state's supposed to. I just,
You're close.
Yes, sir.
She contacted me. I'm just a schmo. She's the supervisor of elections. She called the state division of elections, which is what she does. We're waiting to hear back from them. She's spoken to an attorney there. I have spoken to that attorney as well. We're waiting to hear back from them because truthfully, it is very vague. So if you're a land, there's 2 types of seats here.
right.
There's seats where if you own a piece of land, you can live in Idaho. If you own a piece of land here, you can serve on the board. I don't remember which numbers they are. And then there's 2 seats that are by the general electors, which means it has nothing to do with land ownership. Anybody who lives in Montura can vote for the seat. So that seat requires residency. But unfortunately, when it comes to 298 districts, it's not well defined. So I called Brenda. Brenda doesn't know the answer. So Brenda calls the state division of administrative hearings. Their first response was, well, it's a 298 district, so we don't do that stuff. We called back and said, well, it is, but this is a general election issue. It's not a landowner election issue. So we're waiting to hear back from you. I can tell you, Brenda has conveyed to me, she was just very upfront, so, and that is that she doesn't enforce,
Right.
right? Nor do I. That's not my job. If you have standing to rate, you're a landowner here, you're a member of the electorate, you have standing to raise the issue to who? The State Division of Elections. You probably can't be your attorney, but you probably have legal rights to as a member. But what constitutes residency is not where your homestead is. It's not where your voters are. It's a combination. If you look at the law, it's 8 different factors. I'm not an investigator. That's the issues on elections are their individual. Because I don't represent this Benny and this individual. I represent the board.
Right.
So if any one of these guys have an issue, that's a personal, it's an individual issue. They need to get an attorney if they want to address it. But I'm not the elections investigator here. Brenda Hoots is the elections supervisor. She calls the State Division of Elections. She needs to provide us with guidance.
Because I don't know how many more times people from the community have to keep, addressing these problems, and then nothing gets done. It's just like the last election with the absentee ballots, even with fake names. Okay, it's like when is this going to get corrected? Because that's the biggest issue we've always had has been the elections. Okay, they fixed supposedly the last one, fine. Okay, now this is the thing, because if one does it, another one's going to do it. So when are we going to have? We need to have some kind of straight line that we have to follow. And that's one of the things that this place does not have. It has no policy, has no procedures, has absolutely nothing. This is a wild west that goes on in this place. Okay, and everything's with. And we're not trying to make a big deal about stuff. Okay, it's simple. Okay, I mean, he changed his stuff back for a reason. Why?
Okay, let's wind it up.
And then we know why. We don't have to ask a question. We just know why.
So Chris, let me ask you a question. Hold on a second. Chris, let me ask you a question. How long you been in Montura?
Longer than you.
Thank you. How long have you been in Montura?
36 years.
Why haven't you ever ran for the board on Montura?
Yes, sir.
Why haven't you ever ran for the board in Montura as you wanted to do so many good things for the community
I'm glad
and
you asked me
you
that.
wanted to do so good for this community?
Yes, sir.
Why haven't you ever ran for this board?
I'm glad you asked that question. So I'm going to tell you something. I worked here for 10 years, Central County. And I worked 10 years at the fire department. What I did, I gave up my job here at Central County, which he knows, and whoever else was here, I gave up my job here in Central County, okay, to expose the corruption that was going on. And that cost me my job at the fire department that I was there for 10 years. Okay, I sacrificed my life many times to save people's homes. Now to get to your question, okay, we own a business. I don't believe anybody that owns a business should sit up there. You want to know why? Because it creates a conflict of interest. My mother never held a position. My father never held a position. I would love to, but I wouldn't want to. Okay, I could come up here and I could do more proactive stuff, not being up there. So to answer your question, there's your answer.
Okay, guys, we're done. Have a seat. Mariela?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mariela Self, and I resign at 267 Bethel Club. And the reason I'm coming up here today is because through my last conversation through email with John Plumero, he mentioned that if myself and Central County staff could not come to a resolution on my dispute, that I could bring it up to the board. So I'm bringing it up to the board, and the reason why I want to bring it up to the board is because, again, for the same reasons that I don't believe that I should have to pay the amount of the invoice whenever there's been so many issues with that invoice, and the fact that, the lack of policy. That's the reason why I want to bring it up on you guys, to see if you're willing to go ahead and hear, the argument that I had concerning this invoice. And I do have copies of it. I mean, there were several different points that I wanted to address when it comes to the law. I know you said that because it is the law, they can't change it. They are able to apply it because it is the law. I understand that, but there's certain little things that are within that statute that you quoted, which was, due to the nature of this, the record search. It says that, which is reading off the email that you have sent me, it says, if the nature or volume of public records requested to be inspected or copied pursuant to subsection, which is all from chapter 119. It says, is to require extensive use of information technology, which is IT resources, or extensive clerical or supervisory assistance, the agency could charge in addition to the actual cost of duplication and service, special service fee. My issue with that is that when does it become extensive? That was my biggest issue with that. When are you allowed to look at a request and say, you know what, this is going to take more than such time, it's going to require more help for me to do, or for me to fulfill the records request? That is not defined by this, by the law. Where I believe that that's the reason why I said it lacked, that this is, that this entity lacked public records policy, is because a policy would establish that. A policy would establish when does it become extensive, clerical services that you would need to fulfill this record. And that's the reason why now, has that been applied? Has that already been established? And I believe it has through the new policy that you guys have adopted, which means anytime that it requires more than 15 minutes to be fulfilled, then that's when you can go ahead and apply this service, this special service fee. And that's where I said, that was not established during the time that I requested these records, and that's the reason why I wanted to address, the board and see if you're willing to maybe revisit it and only charge me the duplication fee.
You had something you wanted to say?
After the last time she brought that up, I went to go seek more information regarding that. And the legal advice that I was informed of when her request was put in, from what they told me, if the policy was adopted after, we still have to amend what she requested previously. So whatever that charge was previously that they were going to charge her, sadly, if it caught, I don't know how much the new fee was, but we still have to give her that original fee regardless of the circumstance because of the dates.
Yes, sir, I do want you to answer, and then we'll...
Find another attorney. That's nonsense. Who told you that? An attorney? A member of the Florida Bar? So, there's a few areas where I'm actually an expert in public records. I lecture on public records, litigated, represented Martin County in public records litigation. So, let me just summarize where we are. We now have a policy, and that policy has, as Mariela correctly points out, bright line standards. That's why I recommended that we adopt a policy. So, when you don't have a policy, you have to operate under the law. Mariela, again, is correct. It is a subjective determination. Doesn't mean you can't charge, it just means it's a subjective determination paid by the agency.
Correct. But as well as if she was to come and view it, because he did mention that if she wants to make copies of it, she can take physical copies with her phone, and that's fine as well.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. You can inspect.
The
You can
documents.
have copies, absolutely. And I wrote, and I apologize, I don't have it with me, so I'm gonna go by memory, but I wrote her an email kind of saying, here's the law, here are the options. And so this happens, and I'll tell you, thousands of times. So if people make a public records request, the agency says, sure, it's gonna cost X, and I go, oh, okay. And then they narrow the public records request to what they're really looking for. So I sent Daniela an email, I don't recall, maybe if you have it, you're a good guy, but it's, I think I said,
Do you want to take a look at it?
yeah, if you don't mind.
You have screenshots.
So I said, hi, Daniela, you are correct. Governmental agencies such as Central County are not required to adopt a public records policy. As I'm sure you are aware by law that custodian of public records, that's Becky, may charge fees which among other things include direct and indirect costs of compiling and providing public records. No adopted policy is needed to do so, although we do now. But I think it's good practice to have a policy. There's no disagreement. However, excuse me. Due to the growing amount of public records requests and the value of having an adopted policy, the Board of Supervisors adopted policy. Under state law, without the need for policy, the following fees, it's fees. And she's correct, it says you have to spend, it requires, quote, extensive use of information technology resources or extensive clerical or supervisory assistance. So she presented to you, I think a few months ago, I said I would look into it. I called Becky, went over the invoice with Becky, asked Becky how many hours was put into it. She told me dozens of hours that they didn't even.
13.8 to be exact.
Yeah, she said they didn't even charge for all the time it took. They kind of narrowed it down. She said, is there any wiggle room? She said, no, those are real costs, real charges. I said, okay. I sent you the email because I want the authority to change that invoice. Can't work it out with staff. I tried to see if we could, but no. And it's going to be up to you. So I also told Daniela that I don't know what part of it has the, so I think you would ask for like credit card statements.
It was, yeah, 2 years
So
of
credit card
statements.
statements should be pretty easy to find. I mean, I have mine online, so I don't know what else was.
It was included, it also, I had requested that the 2 years, which was from the time that he started to the time that I submitted, which was in April of last year. And I also wanted the receipts of the information, or of the items that were bought with the transaction, right?
Is now going through individual files to find individual receipts. It's credit card statements, that shouldn't take, you should go kick those up pretty quickly. It's the receipts that take a lot of time. So I told Daniela that, include your invoice, spoke to Becky Hernandez. Staff believes that the charges are reasonable and incurred as a result of your request. Extra staff time was needed to comply. I have no authority to change the invoice. The only entity that can make a final decision on the invoice is the board. Another option for you to consider would be to narrow the scope of your request, because that would also reduce the charge.
This board, if I remember correctly, agreed not to get involved and let the staff handle it, and I'm not gonna change that. So if my time, when he gets this back, he would like to change it, that's fine. Other than that, nothing's changed from the last time. So we're done with this issue.
If I could add something else to that?
Quickly.
I could add something else. You know, the reason why it was such a big deal for me to get informed was because of the fact that it did require, 13.8 hours. If the public has the opportunity, which all other entities, I don't know if you've ever done records requests, all other entities, when you submit your request right then and there, they will let you know, this might require, depending on the amount of records that you're requiring, they will go ahead and let you know that there could be a special fee. If I would have been told this, there could have been a very well possibility that I would have said to myself, you know what? That might cost a lot of money, so let me go ahead and narrow it down to exactly what I'm looking for. And I was never told that. Now, Central County does have a public records request form that has to be submitted, okay, through, you know, what you guys want to be submitted. That records request form is very misleading, and I'll say this again because the only time that it mentions that there could be a service fee charge is when inspecting the records, not when you're asking for the staff to make the copies for you. Like, I have a copy of it, I made a copy for every single person so you guys can see it for yourself. That's not what I indicated that I wanted, and your form specifies that that special service fee would only be applied if you're asking to view the records.
Well, maybe we'll look at the form, but like I said, I'm not reopening this matter, so we're moving on. Thank you very much.
Now, one more thing I did have something else for the attorney that I wanted to submit to him. One question, what is considered to be redactable? Whenever you request records, what has to be redacted from records?
So under the public records law, there's a whole series of exclusions and exemptions, like social security numbers is one example. If your police have a whole other category, trade secrets, confidential things. I mean, I'm not gonna go through the list.
Driver's license numbers, no DO numbers, no, date of births or addresses or anything like that? That's not
Not
exempt?
unless you're in law enforcement.
Not unless you're in law enforcement. Okay,
Or a victim of crime.
gotcha. All right. Thank you very much.
Antonio Reyes? Antonio Reyes?
Yes, he's right there. Antonio, pase.
I'm speaking.
Sure.
No.
Mira, solamente era una pregunta, no sé si es el lugar indicado.
Siéntete cómodo, siéntete cómodo.
Yo tengo un piso, en medio los dos terrenos, en mi papá y mi mamá.
Ahora un poquito más alto.
Tengo dos terrenos, en mi papá y el mío, y en medio hay un piso. Entonces quería ver qué podía hacer para eso, no sé si es un lugar adaptado. Para hacer esa pregunta.
Estás en un momento adecuado.
¿Cuál es tu dirección?
1.40, 1.30 y 1.40, norma y baja.
1.30 y 1.40.
El 1.30 es mi papá y el 1.40.
Los lotes están por un lado, el otro con un isla en el medio.
En medio y atrás también.
You should just come meet with you.
Yes, yes, work it out. Because we authorized one similar, that they put the gates up, so we can get in and out of there if we have to.
You guys agree for 135 and 145?
Yeah.
A lo Mateo.
He just has to know, John, that easement at any time,
Yes,
if we need it,
Yeah.
we have to have access to it.
You'll work it out.
yeah, he'll work it out.
Make sure there's a paperwork,
I got oficina.
make sure there's a paperwork filled out. Go ahead, man, I actually feel under the weather. I might be in there. All right, I might be like.
Somebody wants to go.
No, I don't mind it, but I just feel good.
All right.
I'll be in there.
So we're straight with that one? Okay,
Put my mask on.
old business, discuss vote on new grader. So, Armenia's not here.
Yeah, and we need him.
Discuss vote on guardian of the reservoirs, committee and role and responsibilities. I thought we did that.
That's fine.
That's your item.
Again, this is a result of conversations I've had with, I think it was Chris, about the Guardian. So, and I had a conversation with, Josh's
Big fan?
Yeah.
Josh. Josh and Patty.
Patty. To tell her, there's nobody here from Guardians. All right. So,
Can we move on to that one too, because they're not here? I think it's pretty fair to them.
I'm gonna give you a 1 minute.
Go ahead.
I think they need to be here, but when a group is an advisory committee to an elected body, a couple of things are triggered. And this is well settled law, it's not a gray area. Many city councils, many counties have advisory committees. So if you create an advisory committee, a few things happen. Number one, that advisory committee is subject to the the sunshine law. That means when they need to meet like you do in a publicly noticed meeting. May member of the public can attend. That's number one. Secondly, the membership of that committee needs to be appointed by you. That committee's membership was appointed by a board a while ago. Right. I've been told that people have come on and off the committee. If that's true, that needs to be addressed. Because it's your committee, frankly, because it's your advisory committee. Now, anybody can form a committee. Guardians of the Reservoir Blue. They can meet anytime they want, they can do whatever they want, because they're not your advisory committee. When they become this board's advisory committee, then some baggage comes along with it. So, I really wanted to talk to the committee themselves to go over the details, but that's...
But at the moment, are they an official committee that answers to us?
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you that because
Yes.
of sunshine law.
Yes.
Yes, they are. And who is in that committee?
I have no idea.
Okay, so therefore, we need to write down and take notes.
Yes.
Who is in charge of that committee? What, we have to put something together. What is their responsibility then going
You could
forward?
appoint the committee in 1 minute. I mean, they just need to, I don't know who's on it. If you're who's on it, you say, yes, so-and-so, 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 you are hereby reappointed to the committee.
And we could take them out and put them in and replace them as well.
Yes, you see
That's
fit.
busy fit.
Okay.
That was
Just wanna
very
make-
clear when we did it.
Okay, I just want some
You
clarification
can
on that.
form 10 committees.
Yes.
You can delete the committee just by voting. You can change the membership anytime you want, for any reason.
But again, they are held accountable under the sunshine law as we are.
They are.
Becky, do you have a list?
Such kind of liable for them?
Do you have a list of the members of the people in the committee?
Citizens committee.
When you guys elected them was Josh and, WA.
WA?
As the two. And I believe Patty ended up being the secretary
And Ivan.
and Ivan was on the board.
Yeah.
Those are the four that I knew of.
Those are the only legal members of that board. Anyone else, we don't recognize.
And Mr. Kelly.
Mr. Kelly.
Randall Kelly.
Randall, yeah.
Randall.
Can we get that in writing? We'd like to get that in writing.
Yeah.
also.
And that's the only people that we agreed to. So anyone else can say what they want, they're not a part of that commission.
They're responsible for their own actions.
Exactly,
Very
they
well.
don't pertain to us. We put the people in, we told them what their role was, it's public record. We went over it 2 or 3 times, and they got mad at me one evening because I said that they did not have the authority to make policy. And someone took it wrong and blew it all out of proportion. So we've been very clear about what their role is. They met here, so it would be in a meeting place where everyone knew, and there would be no issue. So I think we just go over it with them and be done with it.
Are they on terms, or it's
No.
when we feel need to
Whatever you,
remove them?
they can be if you want to.
Yeah, we just-
You can make them lifetime appointees, you can put them on for 1 year, it's up to you.
So, okay, so we're done with that one. Back to the
One
grade.
thing I want to mention. This whole, committee, I make a statement, Martha told me to bring it up, whenever they meet here, they should have a different presence. That way, because that unit is the open, we have a lot of equipment here, if anything happens here, and I would like to see, we have a different.
Okay, we can work that out without a whole lot of trouble. Okay, let's go back to the grader. It's all yours.
All right, the grader. You guys have 3 estimates, 2 from Kelly Tractor and 1 from Dobbs Equipment. 2 from Kelly Tractor and 1 from Dobbs Equipment.
Okay. Hang on, y'all.
I found a couple more, but every time I call Kelly out of here, they will send me back to the Kelly near the address. And the other ones is actually out of state, and that will not work for us. So it's basically back to Kelly Tractor and Dobbs Equipment, John Deere and Caterpillar.
Money. How much is the John Deere?
Money, okay, so I make a deal after a back and forth. I think Mara was involved too with this. They basically gave me the grader with the new joystick function,
Yes.
computer, all these lasers, for the same price as the basic. If you notice, they took out 10,000 on one and 20,000 on the other one. So both of them are 230,000 livres.
And one's got, the cat's got less stuff than the,
One of them has advanced joystick capability, and the other one is just basic.
yeah.
Which is the one that we can modify going into the future? Because we tired of putting back.
The joystick advanced,
Is that the one for Kelly Tractor, the one I'm looking at?
yes.
So anything that we have to modify, we'll modify with that. So we're looking at almost $230,000. Well, 229,000 if you, in government, you like to go with straight numbers. And the other was 230,000. So going to a future, looking at the future, because, I mean, again, we continue putting in Band-Aids on equipment and jobs that we do out here. We're looking at long-term, looking at everything that this one has on joystick and future modifications. I'm looking at it compared to the Tesla. Okay, a Tesla right now, you could just go ahead and hook up a computer and you want to go ahead and modify it.
Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Kelly Tractor.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer for me.
Absolutely. So that's the one I want to go with if we go moving forward into the future. And again, every decision that I'm going to make here is looking at the future. We're not looking at the present moment.
Well, the one you're talking about was 250,000, and they put it down to 230.
That one, that's the
At the end of the day, if you pay more, a little more for that cake.
It pays off at the end.
That Caterpillar versus the John Deere, your money in it. So, I mean, that's a no-brainer there.
Will our operator take that class?
I don't think he needs it. I think we're wasting our time.
Well, this equipment comes with
Yeah, they're easier to operate now than they were
Yeah.
10 years ago or 20 years ago. It's just, it's simple. So, we need a motion on the
It's the
floor.
same thing with the boom mower. We got the boom mower, they came from dust equipment with the instructor and, you know.
All right, I got a motion on that one. Let's move forward with that because, we continue having issues on the roads. Want to get that taken care of as soon as possible. We'll have a backup. I motion on that one.
We have a second?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay. The food trucks, I guess we were gonna get back to that one. I don't remember where we left the food trucks.
Well, actually, we had a conversation, back and forth on this, the food truck event. We were thinking that, I think we didn't have any clarification on that, and the clarification was, it was pretty understood, or not understood, that we could have it every week, on a Friday and Saturday. And we're only having it, they're coming out here only once a month. What it would be nice to see, a minimum of two trucks to come out here with permission as we continue to go forward, every Friday and Saturday as they see fit. And a minimum of two trucks, because if we have a food truck invasion, we're gonna have 5 or 6 trucks and they're not gonna be profitable and they're not gonna come out
They
here.
gotta make money.
They have to make money in order to make that drive out here and prep out the food. So, I think, on a weekly basis, on a Friday and Saturday, as long as they communicate and they have the proper insurance that they've been having every Friday and Saturday, with the permission of Central County, you guys vote on it, I think we can move forward on that. For now, it's not something that's gonna be, constant, but we're gonna revive, we're gonna look into it in the future, but right now, I think we can move forward having it on a weekly basis every Friday and Saturday for now.
Okay. And I'm gonna give you a shout in just a second. Why don't we I don't remember why we tabled this, but why don't we let him handle it as he sees fit? And if we wanna make some adjustments, we can at the next meeting.
As well.
Okay.
I was just gonna say that because I spoke with a few of the food trucks themselves, and they said, cause from my knowledge, I had to go check my notes, I thought we only agreed at once a month, to do it once a month.
That's correct.
But
Once a
when I spoke with a few of them said if it's not a bother, if they could do it more than just once a month. And like I told them, I said, I don't have a problem with that, but I'm not dealing with the day-to-day. I said, as long, I feel if you go through management, you go through the office, and the office says, we got all your paperwork, you're good to go,
Yes.
then I'm fine with it. But if you're just gonna go over and beyond and then try to do it yourself, no, I don't agree with that.
No, but it needs to be both, because
Oh.
remember, once you guys tell me once a month, it's once a month.
Yeah, but we don't need to do that. What we
No.
need to do is make it clear that he has the go, as long as they have the proper insurance and any other
And they get
concerns
it
that
in.
we have, and let him go with it. We don't need to be in the middle of that, my God, that's
Absolutely.
No.
We hate them, yes.
Well, the last time when they did it, besides a few, pros and cons, everything was fine. There was a lot of people there.
Have we addressed the pros and cons? Did you address with them the pros and cons that you just mentioned?
The pros and cons didn't come from us, it comes from the residents,
Oh,
so.
well, it is what it is.
That's not-
You know, it is what it is,
But
but.
anyway, we were able to fix it once the trucks was there. They were under impression that they would just go there and start selling.
No.
I guess they didn't communicate with us whatsoever, so,
But now you,
in less
but then
than
you
5
corrected,
minutes, I got about 50 calls.
so, but now you corrected that situation.
So we
Right, so
saw.
I went over there, I talked to the guys, and they said, look, I'm sorry, we didn't know. I said, well, now you know, so I need your license, your health insurance license, your liability insurance, and they provide everything.
Okay, so we need a motion on the floor to let him, if that's what, we need to vote on this? Did we need to vote on it, or?
I mean, you're gonna.
We're gonna pass it,
We're gonna
transfer that to him.
let him handle it.
But you're gonna, it takes time and people, so you should vote, so that,
Yes,
you should vote.
so we need a motion.
I make the motion,
Okay, the motion is that he can handle it from here on out,
absolutely,
unless we see fit to interfere for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
absolutely.
Okay,
Second that motion.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Every week, as long
Uh,
as you see fit.
You may find that it takes off real good every week and then it starts slowing down and you may have to skip a week. Whatever you do, that's why I want to leave in your hands. The vote on the South Florida water management update. Where is it? Says discuss vote on South
Yeah, I
Florida.
actually have that on my report, but anyways, we'll do it now.
You wanna do it?
So, we received a call, the meeting received a call from South Florida Water Management District, that they wanted to do an inspection of the reservoir. So the Water Management District, it's 16 counties, so they're divided up into regions. Hendry County falls into what they call the Fort Myers region. So I spoke to the regional director there, and I used to work there for many years in water management. So I spoke to them, and they have received pictures and emails from some residents about impacts to wetlands and the reservoir.
Are you saying residents or are you saying Mr. Crisell?
He's a resident. He's a resident. He's a resident.
Me, I did it.
And so they're gonna go ahead and do an inspection. We worked out a suitable inspection period time for them to come. So the issue is, and again, it's happened a couple of thousand times, when, especially with these reservoirs. So when these reservoirs, one of the reasons they're reservoirs is it's low ground. When you're in Florida, in South Florida, and you're in low ground, it's probably a wetland. And so there have been instances in the past where ATVers go through, what are the funnest places to go through? They're mucky areas. So you can see that if you go look at like Portrait Preserve, all those areas, they allow ATV access. And you can look at areas and you can see the tracks. But they cannot go into the wetland areas, because if you're going into the wetland areas, that's technically dredging and filling in the wetlands, so they receive complaints, they're gonna go inspect it. They don't want any trouble. They're gonna work out the issues with us. See what kind of inspection turns out. after the inspection, depending on the outcome of the inspection, you can shut down the reservoir. You can close off areas of the reservoir. That's,
Or we could rent out the reservoir.
or you could rent out the reservoir.
Okay.
Yes. Probably more than that.
Yeah, we'll get to that, you know, is that what the residents want, residents?
We've been here before, y'all. They were here. How many of you weren't around then, were you? We were asked to mark some areas and they left us. It was all good, so maybe something's changed.
Everything
had a
we can have.
Comment on any of this stuff?
Excuse me?
Are we gonna have public comment on any of this stuff, or is it the same rules that?
I think we just had public comment just a few minutes ago.
You know what I'm saying, like, as y'all discussed before y'all
No,
go in, y'all
no,
wanna
I
hear
think
from
it's
the
way too
community.
long to get this done.
Oh,
It's the
y'all
first
might
of the
as
meeting.
well held this meeting at your house and hang out.
Yeah, we can, but you know,
Oh,
we're not
sure.
gonna listen, we're not gonna listen to that, so. You can either listen or you can go, either way, it doesn't
I'm
matter.
listening, I'm just asking, can we talk?
Okay, we're not talking, no, sir. All right. Where were we? Okay.
Well, that's it.
So that's it.
Inspection, once we,
That inspection will be on Friday.
Friday, yeah. Okay.
Golf tournament.
All right. The golf tournament. Go ahead, who's in charge of the golf tournament?
So that's me. So I was just thinking of creative ways to help us with our clubhouse, with our kids. I know we have stress with our budgeting every year. So quite a few people approached me that we should probably try to get a tournament in the summer. So summer is cheaper rates. A lot of us play golf, get good sponsors, and able to use that funding to help assist with projects and things at the clubhouse. So that was the reason I wanted you guys to look at this, think about it, see if we can do something like this and make it into an annual event to offset some of our costs.
What, is there anything else? No, I'm just saying, what is there to think about this? Sounds like a go to me. Anybody got any?
Yeah, I can't just do it on my
Yeah,
own.
no, I understand.
That's what
You guys,
I'm for.
any suggestions?
Great idea.
Huh?
Great idea. It's a great idea.
So shall we vote on it and go ahead and get it going?
Well, here's the thing, you're gonna need, we could go ahead and put the tournament together.
Yes.
I've done several tournaments now, being out there in Houston, which I've enjoyed myself as well. But it takes a whole village to raise this kid. This kid is not easy,
Well,
okay? It's not easy. Okay?
it's a lot of work.
I will not be working it, but I'll be playing it. I'll put my money in there to play it.
Do we need a committee? How do you want to do it? This is your opinion. You tell us what you want to do. and we'll push it.
I've got a team of people that have done many of them.
So you're ready to go?
We can make it happen.
Make a motion.
We
Motion.
can make it.
Go ahead. Your motion is? What's your use? Let it run.
So that one, my time, we go, tournament.
We have a second?
Aye.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. It's all yours.
Come back with some dates.
Okay. District manager's report. Minus the grader. You already got the grader.
Thank you for that. Through this month, we sold 39 permits for a total of 152 through the year. We work back and forth on the graders estimates. The boom mower is already done on Appaloosa, and we corrected it on Hunting Club. We went through a whole week removing all the pine trees on perimeter on a swell that was never done for years. It was actually almost like a little more than a quarter mile. I think Mr. Montana received some calls that we were clearing private properties.
Isn't that where the water used to come in? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's the corner of Hacienda and Perimeter.
Okay.
It was like a quarter mile that I guess the lots were empty for a long time, but lately, because everybody's buying those lots now, the owner wants to put a fence and this and that, and we gotta clear like 20 feet. It was 382 pine trees actually.
By the way, I received a few calls saying that Central County employees were cleaning some lots.
That was a good thing. That was a good thing. That was a good thing.
So I went there by myself, make sure I see what was going on. They were cleaning the
This isn't new, this has been going on for a long time. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so, we keep rebuilding roads. We haven't been able to finish a hunting club yet because the grade of the town for a few days. We keep digging out trash from Montura. The clubhouse. The regular maintenance is keeping the clubhouse in a good shape. The pool. The pool is done. They just finished it today. Mr. Bennett went with me over there. It looks way better than the last time they fixed it and I was there. It's a whole different thing. So hopefully it'll last longer. We got 5 years warranty anyway on that service and material. And if you want to hear Mr. Bennett's opinion.
Mr. Bennett, you're gonna be the first one in the pool.
We'll let him, if you finish yours, we'll get him on his report. But just so you know that we're not the only ones with a pool issue. The city of Gloucester is having the same issue. They're old pools, so. anyway.
Okay, so I have a quick question. The contractor, normally, and I know this for a fact because I'm Hialeah. Okay, so normally some counties do not require a permit for repairs of the pool.
Right.
Okay, so Henry County has never issued a permit for repair of pools until we blew a permit. So it took them about a month to figure out the rules and regulations and policies and procedures and the ways and this and that. So he wanted me to ask the board if you guys agree to pay him back the permit fee,
Who is he?
the contract,
How much is that?
1500.
1,500?
Yes.
Can we talk to
He
him?
was not on the contract because, like I said, a lot of different counties. And on the beginning, somebody told him no, and then they called him back and said yes, and then Bennett had to step in, and it was a big mess back and forth until they decided, okay, we're gonna do a permit for the first time.
I suggest we pay him for it. He wasn't told he had to pay it, and we have a 5-year warranty, and we don't want to start bad with him. And it's the right thing to do.
We got a 5-year warranty on material and service.
Yeah, and if you start messing around for $1,500, it's gonna be dry every time, if, hopefully, he never has to come, but, and he wasn't told, if he wasn't told.
Yeah.
Okay.
But going forward, we need to go ahead and advise these contractors that we find out of town that they need to do their research before they do anything in Henry County, okay? Because at the end of the day, we continue to grow, and most of the contractors that we're getting out-of-county contractors, and most of them are not knowledgeable enough for the laws and regulations and what's going on here in Henry County, and we're gonna end up, with this situation. But with this going forward, I second that motion to get this gentleman taken care of, and we move forward with this issue. And I think we got a real good deal on that book.
Do we have a,
1,500 is
You have a motion on the
my
floor?
thing, but I want you
You have
guys to, to agree with me. If
it's the right thing to do.
that's the case.
All those in favor? Motion carried.
Thank you.
one thing I would like to ask.
Yes.
In order to get a contractor to do anything here in Central County, do we have an open bid? How do we do it?
We do.
Open bids?
Yes.
So how the open bids works?
You just put it out there and
We announce it? We announce it?
yes.
We advertise it? Yes.
Yeah.
And then, you say companies come in and
They send it up.
Yes.
They come look at the job and they send in bids.
This particular contractor did this work just a little over half of the other contract. This contractor was $10,000, the other $88,000, I believe.
I saw the pool today.
I originally said nothing to the permit thing, and then I got thinking about it, and I can't think. Benny did, he really, even if he had called over here, I'm not sure he would have got straight in from the county, because I called him first. They first told me no, and then they came back and said, well, we want to research it. And then it was 3 or 4 days later, they came out and said, yeah, we want to make it.
Yeah, the pool looks really good.
Yeah.
You might as well go ahead and do your report while you're at it.
Are you finished with your?
Are you finished?
Yeah, basically.
Well, wait a minute, finish and we'll go.
Yeah, it shows the basketball tournament was great. We've been in contact with Craig Johnson for the roof. Because Henry County is way behind on the permit, they just signed the permit like 4 days ago. So he's getting ready to start on the roof. That's more important.
Well, my report, basically the grants, we still haven't gotten the grant documents. Didn't talk to the county grant folks the last couple of weeks, and got to clarify with some things they needed from us. But still on the road, we haven't gotten it yet. Clubhouse, our report we got said we were going to wait on the permit. We did know everything, waiting on the pool. The permit from the skyline was issued. Now the pool was completed. We did get the samples of the lime rock, both pit area out here, have been delivered to the testing laboratory.
They look really good, so I hope that's positive on that.
We should get those in the next couple of weeks. One thing that's not on the report that we don't have to turn this in, but we did the annual light inspection for the water management district. Renio and I did that last Thursday or something like that, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, everything's fine. The Viking is in good shape. The outfall structures are in good shape. That report's been turned in. So, that's all I've got.
Thank you, sir.
Quick.
I forgot something important though. We've been having meetings with Margaret and the other district about the permit on the swells. And we haven't get to the actual conclusion yet. We still have another meeting with the contractors. And what almost positive is gonna go is every inspector on different district will have the last sign for the COs to make sure that the roads and the are in good shape after they finish the construction or anything like that.
What you're saying is they want to be involved in, it's a good idea. They want to be involved in what we do on our roads.
Right.
I love it.
So
With that comes pay.
the way they used to do it, they only require for the permit to be pulled
Right,
to start the construction site.
right,
Now it's different. Now the permit has to be closed,
right.
the inspection. But there will be another inspection when they,
The final.
the final.
Beautiful.
For the
It's a
seal.
beautiful thing.
So you're telling me that
Yeah.
if while they're working on their houses or they're doing construction and they damage our roads with those big trucks and all that, they're responsible to take care of that road?
Yes.
Yes,
Until
they always
they-
have been, though. That's nothing new. That's,
It's the
we
con.
damage the road, we can get,
But before we were paying for the roads.
well, we have, but then we have to get it back, but that's a whole other story.
Now
another
they
day.
can't get a CO on the building.
Until we
Yeah.
get it taken care of.
Beautiful.
Until they get
That's a great, well, it's good.
I had a question for you, Mr. Bennett. In reference to a few of the roads, can you have for the board, because we're getting ready to go into rainy season, and I know we have a few roads that really need to address, can you prioritize which roads, like for instance, the one that always comes up is Perimeter, Cano, Beto, can we get a good report and a good estimate what it would cost to, either, repave it right, reshell it, or
possibly asphalt it. I know it's quite a bit, but at least so we can have some good numbers. Because I know riding down Perimeter the other day, in some areas it's like a 2-foot drop off. So it's in pretty bad shape already as it is. It's not gonna get any better.
Yeah, Perimeter is one that, we had actually done some survey work on that several years back and then, got so far and then stopped and we're working on other things. But Perimeter is one that the whole roadway needs to be elevated. And we need to have a soil system with drainage.
Is that because of the Wheatie Brothers water comes into our area?
No, that's not where it comes into it. It's just over the years. I don't think it ever was built.
Correct.
Exactly correct. And, so that's one that I think we really need to get a plan together.
Can you bring us something so see what we're looking at?
Yeah, I can try to get an estimate.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
And see the traffic on there as well. We need to
On
look.
Perimeter?
Yeah, Perimeter.
it ain't gonna be very big.
That's why I'm saying we need to look at traffic, what's the traffic on that, you know, if we're gonna invest X amount of money on that road, we need to look at the traffic, the volume of homes that are there as well. Because we have a certain amount of homes on one road that is all pretty destroyed. Okay, I'm just giving an example, but if we're gonna go focus on Perimeter, we need to look at that road out there real good and traffic volume.
But we can come up with a game plan,
Yes, sir.
do it in segments or pieces.
Preliminary, looking at that, it seems like there's more traffic there than what the homes actually want. Seems like there's people using it that don't live there, just from me looking at it and going around there, because it stays torn up all the time, and there's not that many residences on
You
it.
see a lot of circles in the middle of the road?
Yeah, so that's exactly where you.
That's what should be there.
I'm glad you
Yeah,
brought that
of
up,
course.
yes.
But,
That's exactly what should
That's how
be.
it's happening out there.
Especially by the sun pit over there.
Yeah, well, we have to get that's all right, that's one for another day.
All right.
All right, you wanna finish yours and then we'll go to John? Yes, sir.
So one thing I had on my report that I didn't get into yet is golf cart usage on Central County roads. I got a call a couple of weeks ago from the county attorney, Mark Lapp. And one of the county commissioners had called him and said, hey, Montura wants to start using golf carts on their roads. The county attorney called me, I said, that's news to me. It's never been discussed at a board meeting. We talked about it, and I think I may have sent you guys an email. Didn't I send you kind of laying out the law? Okay, good. So this is another example of, there are all these laws, and they deal with cities, counties. When it comes to 298 districts, there's nothing. So there's a law, chapter 316. 316.212, operation of golf carts. And it basically says, operation of golf carts on public roads is prohibited. Then it says, except, and then it lists a bunch of exceptions. One of the exceptions is if the golf cart is operated only on a county road. And it's been designated by a county, municipal street, and there's some other requirements for it. This is not a county road. So state highway system, no. You can go down the list and there's really, we don't fit into any of the categories. However, it doesn't make sense. It should be an option. So I talked to the county attorney and I think I included, he asked the attorney general for an opinion on ROVs in July of 2020, because there was a little bit of vagueness in the law, just like on this issue. Can golf carts be used? By the way, there's a speed limit issue too. The speed limit has to be below 35, not at 35, below 35. But if that's something that you as a board want to explore, what I discussed with the county attorney is doing what he did just 6 months ago, which is ask the Attorney General for an opinion. That's routinely done. I've done it on behalf of this district in the past. To say, hey, the law's a little bit vague here. Here are the facts. what do you think, Attorney General? But I don't wanna go through that unless it's something you want me to do. So,
I'm glad you mentioned something like that. I was gonna, in my report, that was one of the last things we want to talk about, golf carts. I know a lot of people here want to talk about ATVs and all that, so I would like to see golf carts brought to Montura, and according to how they behave, let's put it this way, how it behaves, how it interacts, how it goes, we may look at the future going forward for people to ride their ATVs in sectional areas. Okay, this is just a test. Now I'm looking at a test, and I don't know how the board feels about it, but going to what you're saying, I respect what you're saying, and the law states that it can't be done, but if we could find a way that residents could ride their golf carts and abide by the same rules and regulations as Clueston, okay, by having a sticker and paying a fee, I think we could do something like that. I think a lot of people want to be able to go to the store or go in areas, designated areas, to ride their golf carts. Now, that's my personal opinion. There's 5 board, I know Montura loves me. Anything that has to do with Montura, it's all about rules. But there is 5, I want to make sure that it's 5, yes, all about rules. So, but there's 5 board members here that we can go ahead and discuss this, and everybody has their own opinion, but this is my opinion going forward in the future.
I want to get mine out of the way.
Thank you, sir.
I want to get mine out of the way. The city of Clueston has Clueston PD. I don't know how many of them there is that are all over the city enforcing it. We have 1 deputy. God knows when we get 2. This is a beautiful thing. The problem is there's no enforcement. Now, everybody knows that every time we've let it go, hell, we've not let it go, and you got roads destroyed from 4-wheelers spinning donuts, and if you're gonna let one, I think you can let all. I don't think you can make a special request for golf carts and not side-by-sides. I think it's a kind of one we don't need to open up.
This is what I want to talk to the man.
Okay. No. We're here now, so let's go ahead.
After that was brought up to my attention, to a lot of the people who voted me, a lot of the younger people. And I contacted the sheriff's office and I spoke with Chief Nelson and Captain Harold, and they broke it down to me as briefly and clearly as they can, is that the county opted out of it to have ATVs and such here, and that if we do want to have it or opt into it, that there's a lot of requirements that we have to follow.
Yes.
Number 1 is the signs. All the speed signs have to be changed. Who's paying for that? Central County is paying for that. And then the other thing is maintenance, keeping the roads up to date. When we get a complaint saying, oh, we have a hole because an ATV or a 4-wheel or whatever it was doing donuts, that comes back to who's enforcing it. If we only have 1 deputy, then it comes back to the voters. You have to enforce it, you have to push on to the motion. If you see someone doing donuts in your road, to get at it and, call the cops. By the time they get there, it's too late. I don't mean to be, negative or say it, but we have a reservoir. You want to go drive your side-by-side 4-wheeler, dirt bike, go have fun. All that land, you can have a joyful day. I have done it before. But when it comes to here on our roads, our dirt roads, that we're pouring taxpayers' money, your money, back into to repair, so that when there's a flood or when you want to drive your car down, they're done right. I can't have on the weekends when you guys want to go hang out and chill, and then, oh, hey Daniel, I seen these kids down my road doing donuts. Well, there goes all your money that we just poured into your road.
We were flooded here with people complaining before this all stopped. Anybody else? Who's next? No, let's get everybody's opinion out and get it done. We're here now. Let's do it.
I pulled this up, I believe 2 meetings ago, right? This is in my agenda. I was the one that put her. Now, I go to the It's okay with me.
Go ahead, you got the floor.
I'm gonna make a statement, the same statement that I made before. Okay, I believe we should allow the residents of Ventura Ranch Estates to ride the ATVs, the golf carts, the side-by-sides in the dirt roads. Okay? Having signs, speed signs, 30 miles per hour in all those roads. We have to call DOT, that's what I believe. DOT have to come over here, make a study, right?
What did they say? $100,000 study, yeah.
Make a study, that's what you told me, I don't know.
I don't know, somebody said it, and somebody also said that the study was $100,000, so.
I don't know how much it costs.
Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
We have to pass it on, I mean, we have to approve it, and then pass it on to DOT. And then DOT will come on to this study, and we follow the guideline of DOT will give us. I believe residents of the United States should have the right, riding the ATVs, golf carts, and the side-by-side. We think it's speed limit. If anybody is speeding, there's the deputies, Henry County. Deputies. No, small ones. They will enforce the law, like they've been doing now with the car, because let me tell you, I'm a volunteer for the sheriff's department. I've been out there 3-4 days a week. They're also speeding in the cars. It's not only in the motorcycles. So, thanks to Deputy Dominguez, we've been doing a great job. We've been doing a great job enforcing the law here to the ranch estates. And we can do the same thing with the ATVs. We can do the same thing with the golf carts. We can do the same. That's my personal opinion. And I'm going to tell you, I believe we have a beautiful place, and we should enjoy it. Whoever like riding horses, they should be able to ride horses. Whoever like riding ATVs, do it the proper way. They don't do it the proper way, that is the deputy. And I would like to say this. If anybody is abusing out there and is reckless on the ATV, I believe we should take away the right to ride the ATV. That's it. You cannot ride ATV on roads because you're putting in danger our residents. And once they know that, I believe they will respect it. That's my
You guys should hear the commissioner's opinion as well.
I got a question. It's a good point that you made. Can we, just my only thing, I don't have a problem either way. Can we legally just say because we're a 298, can we change this? Or do we have to work collectively with the other agencies?
So we have to, and there's another, I forgot, and I think I mentioned in my memo to you, this, we have to talk to the sheriff's office, because remember, we've got a traffic control agreement with them. So, because we own the roads, so they can't enforce on our roads, that's why we have an agreement with them. But, you know, they have to agree to this too, because they say, go ahead and, ride rafts down the road, but we're not gonna enforce it. And we have a problem, so we have to also coordinate with the sheriff's office.
And again, going back, we only have one sheriff.
Yeah, whatever, we just have to make sure that they're on board with changing speed limits and changing the usage, because we don't have the capabilities or the manpower to police the roads. You said something very important, if they break the laws, well, somebody has to enforce it. Right now, it's the sheriff's office.
In the future, we should have more sheriffs.
They have to agree.
They have to agree, 'cause they've said it before. They've said it before, that it was very difficult for them to enforce before. This came right out of their mouth, very difficult for them to enforce, because they didn't know who was who and what was what. And now it's very simple, if you're on the right of ways, on the roads, you shouldn't be there. But all that being said, I agree with what he says, so do we table it and look into it some more, or do y'all want to vote now?
Provide the regular drivers on the road. Provide stickers for the blocks.
It's already been tabled a long time ago.
Let me add something, please.
Quickly, because
Let me add something, Dominguez. Ronnie Gonzalez says, and I agree with him on this. Maintenance of the road, you can put a permit. You have to pay whatever amount. We should agree in order to collect the money to do the maintenance on the roads.
Gentlemen, y'all want to vote on this tonight, or you want to table it?
It's your table.
You want to table it?
Well, we're gonna table it again. We tabled the last time.
Be pushing and pushing.
Deputy Dominguez, do you have anything you want to say here? You want to add anything, any opinions, any suggestions?
My opinion is you should call the sheriff's office. That's it.
Smart man. Okay,
Call the
so
sheriff's
we're
office.
moving on. We'll talk about it next meeting. Nobody wants to deal with it tonight, we'll move it
Oh,
on.
we're gonna table it again.
Yes, it's tabled.
We
Done.
should make a
Move it on.
decision ourselves.
Okay, go ahead, John. Yours, right?
No, that's it.
You're done? Okay, the other John.
Okay, so we have total disbursements for the month of March, $165,000. Our tax assessment was $1,752,000. We collected down now towards $595,000 left to go. March collection, $105,000 current, prior taxes, $369. So the current year tax collections, and the length of time about almost equal amounts, and the total is as far as our budget and so forth, we've got $84,000 under budget for the year, which are 93% budget. Did add a new line item as requested for dirt sales. It's now shown separately. Year to date is $13,600.
What was last month, John? How was busy?
Current month says $1,000 in the month of March.
That's gonna get some real quick.
I'm sorry. Did we run out of, no, he's not here. I think we ran out of dirt. Probably.
No,
I'm sorry, thank you, I'm sorry. So we haven't ran out of dirt, we still have plenty of dirt?
yes, sir.
What do we, okay, sure, thank you. And the problem is, I think we're not promoting that we have the dirt.
How much is it low?
100?
It's 100 a load, and we are, trust me.
Well, that's why,
That's,
that's why you're not moving it.
We sold 122 loads.
Well, for the year, right?
For the month.
it's on your report.
Yeah.
It's on the manager's report.
Right. I don't know if which month it's
Well, remember, you're not gonna have all that money. It's not gonna be on that paper because we made the deposit
Okay. All right.
2 weeks ago. So
That's why I thought that when you were outside, I thought you guys had ran out of dirt. But
Okay.
again, we have plenty of dirt to sell. So
Yes,
just want to be able to go ahead and promote that and get it out of the way.
Go ahead.
no questions on that.
Okay, no questions, gentlemen? So the next thing we have is, the supervisory report. I think two of them already made them. So, Mr. Mata,
I'm done.
Roly, did you?
Well, we got the golf
You
cart.
already did yours, yeah, you did yours.
No, not yet.
Some of you guys got yours in
No,
while we were doing it.
No, not yet. No, actually, as a matter of fact, wow. I'm gonna go ahead and table we already talked about the golf cart issue, the clubhouse and park hours. Okay, we have a situation at the clubhouse. The situation that we have at the clubhouse is that every time I go visit the clubhouse, we have an employee there that is just there.
Hold on, isn't that something you need to talk with the manager?
We already did talk about it with the manager, and the situation that we're having is, that I was proposing, and we talked about it, and help me out here, okay?
Talk about it here.
What we were talking about it is, the clubhouse, using the clubhouse Monday through Friday. Well, in other words, just keeping it, help me out here, keeping it open from,
Pass them up.
You were talking about closing it from Monday through
Monday through
Thursday.
Friday, Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday and opening it Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, opening on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the clubhouse, okay?
You were talking about two options. Open from Wednesday to Sunday and close
Monday through Thursday, close Monday through Thursday.
or something like that. I don't
We're
know.
talking about, the problem is that we're spending too much money in the clubhouse, okay? We're just having an employee there. So,
Hey, guys, hey, not here. Y'all wanna talk about it, go outside. We're done talking tonight, I done said, I'm not gonna repeat.
Follow y'all lead, huh?
Excuse me?
Follow your lead.
Yeah,
Talk
follow-
outside of the
Hey,
lead.
listen, we're done.
Hey,
Mr.
brother.
Dominguez, next time.
Calm
see
down,
you
you're gonna have to leave.
We're not gonna put
You're
up.
passing
we're
a
not gonna listen to
disturbance,
it.
and
Go
you're gonna
ahead.
have to leave.
He's talking to us.
Well,
so,
that's what I'm saying, you're causing a disturbance.
He's just talking to us.
Florida State statute, let me know and I'll pull it
the
up.
clubhouse, Monday through Friday.
Yes.
The clubhouse, Monday through Friday, okay? I'm sorry, Monday through Friday,
What he means by
Okay.
the clubhouse, when he explained it to me, was the clubhouse building and leave the park open. That's what he was.
talking about the clubhouse only. Closing the clubhouse,
Gotcha.
okay? Monday through Thursday, okay? Opening it up Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. The park will stay open park hours from sunrise to sunset. Why? Because, again, we have an employee at the clubhouse that is not producing, okay, we're using that money there, it's not producing Monday through Thursday, where we could use that money elsewhere. Okay? Now, Monday through Thursday, exactly, just the clubhouse, to be clear, the clubhouse only. Okay, and that goes along with the pool, clubhouse and pool. This is not for the summertime, this is just regular time. The summertime will make a difference in summertime. Okay, summertime will be, full schedule. When it's not summertime, Monday through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, open, okay? The park stays open from sunrise to sunset. The money that we're spending for that person to be at the clubhouse, Monday through Thursday, we're not getting any return on our investment there. Guys, I understand this is, I see it as a business. So again, we're not getting a return on any type of investment there from Monday through Thursday. But then again, this is my opinion.
Yes.
I'm looking at it as my opinion, but then again, we have 5 board members here, and we can talk and discuss about it.
Okay, listen, everybody's got their say, we're on reports now, so, very brief discussion, and then if we need to vote, we vote, and that's it.
Now we table it.
We're not gonna go on and on and on and on. So-
I wanna say something.
Yes.
This is not a business. This is not a business. This is a community, human beings, residents. That's the center, the heart of Montura Ranch Estates. If you close that, you close Montura. You close Montura, we shut up all the streets and let's go all the employees on vacation because we don't want to spend no money. What are we are since I got here? Canals, streets, and recreation.
Yes.
If we close recreation, we have nothing. When we come to Montura, beautiful thing is the clubhouse. Everybody goes there, I'm patrolling it 3 or 4 days a week. And I go there because I love the clubhouse. I love to see the clubhouse.
Okay.
I go in there, and that's the main thing in Montura. If we close that, we don't have nothing.
Okay, guys.
If we have to pay an employee, we pay an employee
All right,
to keep Montura Ranch Estates open.
so let's
That's the heart of Montura.
let's put it to a vote. It's very simple. We can debate it all night. All you have to do is vote. Do we have a motion for Rolly's idea?
What is it?
Let's clarify again. That's what I'm
This board is voting on this. I think this board heard you.
Yeah,
Do
Monday
we
through
not?
Thursday. Monday through
Okay.
Thursday on this.
So he wants to close it Monday through Thursday.
Leave it open.
Do we have a motion on the floor?
Motion.
Okay, no motion. It died, the lack of motion, perfect. All right, so, Move on. What else?
The reservoir gate. We talked about, you guys had some, I don't know if you had some money, left over or was added. We talked about a reservoir gate, in the past, about an electric gate to the reservoir.
And cards and the whole 9 yards, it's never done.
And the cards and all that, because the cards will tell you who comes in, who goes out.
Yes.
At all times.
Yes. I think it was like $8,000 and.
At $8,000, yes, but I'm glad you mentioned that $8,000, but right now we're paying $28,000, $28,000+ for a security guard
Yeah.
that is just sitting there taking our names, you know, as we go in and we go out. So either we spend $10,000 on an electric gate with an electric system, or we continue looking into it, okay, and make a one-time payment, then going every year, $28,000 or $30,000 for a security guard. Mr. John Ward, do you have a security guard payment there?
No, we were.
Hold on. What?
Are you talking about the report that I did last month about the
The security,
guard?
yes.
We pay 28, we over our head for 30,000.
Question. What happened to, you remember the gate? Y'all bet some of you remember the discussion.
That was 3 years ago or something.
The gentleman came here, made a presentation.
Right, yeah.
We've used these cards. I know exactly what they do. You're right. They tell you time in, time out. You know when that card
Eventually
has
it was
been
gonna
through.
be just like a hotel card.
Yeah, it's a similar
Information
system.
on it, and then it will go straight into the
Yes.
computer in the
Yes.
office.
And you revoke it in the office.
And you don't have to chase anybody down for it.
Right.
Right,
I
yeah.
was all for it. I don't know what happened to it. I forgot about it, but is there something we want to
That
revisit?
was exactly the whole idea. If
Yes.
anybody don't follow the rules or whatever.
Yeah, you don't have to go after it. Just
Revoke it
go to the
in the
computer,
office.
boop, 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 and it's done, yeah.
Exactly, something like that.
So, it's something y'all would like to revisit?
So this is something that I want to go ahead and just put it out here right now. See if we can get some bids out there to get this done. Get some bids, get some money, and look into this. We're spending, again, we're paying $28-something thousand. Like Santana said right now, I look at it as a business. You know why I look at it as a business? Because it's a tax dollars money.
At the end of the day, you have to.
It is a tax dollars money.
Gentlemen,
and it's what we pay.
hold on. We're not gonna go back and forth.
We're paying.
All right, no, we're not gonna get into this. This is your report.
I just want to begin.
Hold on. You wanna get some prices?
I need some 3 bids at least. to
Okay,
move forward.
Arminio, do y'all remember who all was here before?
Yes.
Can you
My
guys,
name is Milo.
okay, can you guys, can y'all wanna look into this again?
Yeah.
Do we need to vote, John, or can we just let him look into it and get some prices?
You're not spending money.
Yes, okay, well, go ahead, get us all that information again, and let's look at it.
Yeah, we'll have a camera system, same camera system.
Let me mention something.
Yes,
I've been a security guard, I've been a prison guard, homeland. That's what I've been doing, homeland. Okay? It's not the same thing having a gate down there, or having a physical security or security officer. He's observing everything that is happening. Not only opening the gate and closing the gate, opening the gate and closing the gate. No. The function of the security guard, the brain, the human brain, is to assess the situation. You see everything is going on there. If somebody has an accident, the gate is not going to call 911. I said, we have somebody here that had an accident, we need to rescue. The security guard is going to observe. He's going to get the phone, 911, and say, hey, we have 2 people here. Right, of that situation. We need to rescue right away. Hey, we have a fight. We have a shooting. The gate cannot do that assessment. That's why it's a big difference. You will all have in mind, it's a big difference about a gate. It's a mechanical functioning and a security officer that is there to observe everything that is going on. Snake can bite somebody.
okay, all right, let's get the prices in here, and we look at it, we'll vote, whatever it turns out is what it is, the majority. Okay, so who hasn't done their report? Didn't you do some of yours a while ago? Go right ahead.
Last monthly meeting, I brought this exact same thing, but just to discuss it, let it flow through, get your ideas. Now this meeting, I want to vote on a few of them. The first one is I want to vote for us to join the Florida Association of Special Districts. to go to the conferences, to get better knowledge, to do workshops, to get, certifications for ourselves, management, and the staff, so we can better help our community. I think it's more beneficial for us because it gives us more knowledge of what other districts are doing that, we can either adapt to our district or things that we're probably already doing, but we just need to tweak a little bit. I think that would be something very good for us to do. I know they have conferences, if I'm not mistaken, three times a year.
That's a great, they're a great organization.
We were a member of that group once before here.
It's
I remember the
not
name.
cheap.
Yeah.
It's a couple of grand a year, but it's the resources
We were a
we
member of
get
that.
to are fantastic.
And I think now that we have invested into Montour, we're moving in the right direction. I think that is something that we should do, like all the other special districts are a part of it. Our neighbors, for instance, they can tell us, hey guys, did you know that you can apply for this grant? Or did you know that you can do this? Stuff that we may not know that we can get learning at these conferences. I think this would be a great opportunity for us, and I think we should.
We need a motion.
I make the motion.
We have a second.
A second.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion carried. You've had 1,000 so far.
The second one is to bring a 21st century approach to Central County, to have our own official Facebook page, so that we can have, Facebook Live, we can post job offers on Facebook, to bring to my generation, because my generation, as I said, the last monthly meeting, I'm trying to make it brief, my generation is not so entwined with the newspaper. They're not gonna go look for the newspaper. They're gonna go on Facebook and say, let's see what Central County has on their Facebook page today. Same thing like events. All of, for my organization and all of our business partners, and some of them also hold government official jobs, they all have Facebook pages, like Hendry County has a Facebook page. It's strictly informational and notifications or emergency for the county. I think Central County Water Control District should have the same. They also have their own website. We have our own website. I think we need to bring a 2021 approach. And the board will all, we get to see it, view it, but it's not for any of our personal things or events. It's strictly for Montour and Central County events and information, jobs, posting, and stuff like that. Nothing more, nothing less. And I think we need to bring that, to 2021.
Who's gonna control that? Who's gonna get paid for all?
That will be left to the day-to-day and the assistant manager as they get paid for that. I think that should be something, because every other office and every other district, they have a personal public relations officer. We don't have that, but I know that follows under her category, so I think that should be handled by her.
She has like 20 categories.
Very simple. Hey, very simple.
Let's keep that in mind.
Let's put a motion on the floor.
I
Yeah.
understand that.
But she has like 20.
I understand that,
Okay.
Flacco. I
All
understand.
right, we have a motion on the floor.
I make the motion.
We have a second.
Okay.
Died for lack of second.
And then my third one is to bring a bigger building, but I spoke with a few other people with my organization, trying to see if we can get a grant for Central County, so I'm gonna remove that one off of here. And then the fourth one is to have either a receptionist or another position, either part-time or full-time, because I know there was a full-time position, but I don't know if they filled it yet, to have an assistant here at Central County office to help alleviate a lot of the day-to-day in the office, the administrative work for the assistant manager, someone to pick up the phone calls, keep a phone log, stuff like that. This was something that I brought up last meeting. I know we may not have it in our budget for a full-time, but for a part-time, I think it should be something we should try out, do temporarily, see how it goes, because it is a lot of work that she is doing. And I think that, having another assistant or someone to help her alleviate that will help us move to a good direction.
All right.
That's where I wanted to go ahead and use the money that we're using in the clubhouse. The days that young lady was using there, use it here.
Okay. We have a motion.
I make the motion.
We have a second.
I'll approve it, but which motion are you wanting to do, part-time?
Part-time.
Part-time.
He said part-time. We have a second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion carried.
And number 5 already is getting done, so there's really no need to bring that up.
Okay.
Number 6, Oh, number 6. This is something that I think we really need to do as soon as possible. The board, I'm going to try to say this as nicely. If we look at Hendrick County and you see their beautiful pictures, they're very presentable. If you look at our pictures, we all have different types of pictures. If you go to the courthouse, you see all of their pictures with their names and their titles. I think we should take that approach and get professional pictures done. Put them up in the county park, the office.
This is not beauty contest.
No, it's not a beauty contest, but it still represents us when a county official or someone from the state looks us up. They can see, presentation in a professional manner. So I think we can.
All right, you need a motion.
I make the motion.
We have a second. No second. All right. Hey, good try, man. Hey, keep hammering this. All right, great. I think you're running to the end, right? I thought it was 5 and we're at 10. Go ahead.
Oh, and then number 7. I think this is something I don't think we have to vote on, but I'm still going to bring it up. I think as a board, I think we should all schedule a day to go to some of our local special districts as a board to see their day-to-day with our district manager, to see other opportunities and other things with our neighbors, to see what they do, stuff like that. See how it is over there, and see if we can adapt or do anything with our neighbor. Say hi, stuff like that.
We can't go together, we can go.
Yes.
We can't go together.
That's a good thing. Yeah. That's a good thing that you just brought up on that one. That's a very good point. As a matter of fact, Arminio just came from there. He went to a district meeting out of we have 7 districts here in the area. 8. Okay, 8 districts. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I think he was told and he was commended on there that we're doing a hell of a job compared to all the other districts out there.
All I want y'all to remember is when you go to these districts, ask them what their budget is. And when they tell you, you might have to run. But anyway, go ahead.
That's it, died right there. There's no need for a motion.
But just say, all right, so we're done. No one else? Everybody had their say? My turn. Okay, go ahead. Mine's gonna be quick.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
The number 7, you don't need the vote.
No, and that's what I said. It's not on here, but this is something that we do need to make very urgent and do something about it. I did fail to put it on here, and I do mention that. Waste Connections. Waste Connections, I reviewed the contract with them. I spoke with a few supervisors, and they are damaging our roads with their garbage trucks. They're slamming on the brakes and putting in dents. I have driven around 2 days, to go see what they have done, see roads that have been repaired, and after they go pick up garbage, and I physically see with my own eyes, they slam on the brakes and put in a hole. I spoke with the district manager here, and he said that we have to speak with Tommy Vaughn, to go over that with Waste Connections. I think as a board, we need to push on it with them, because if we're paying for it, and it says in their contract, if they damage any property or anything, and our roads is property, that they will pay for it. I don't know how much they're gonna pay. And then also in their contract, it also does state that trash cans were bought for Central County years ago, and we never received them.
Right.
So this is a money thing, and I wanna know, where is our taxpayers' money going? We're paying them to pick up bulk, we're paying them to pick up our trash, we're not paying them to damage our roads.
Yes.
And every time I call, and I have people I put to call and keep a log, and they all tell us the same, it's like copy and paste, the same line. Oh, you have to schedule it. We schedule it, we even have documentation, they don't pick it up. And when we call Danielle, if I'm not mistaken who it is, it's the same old thing. But I think we, as a board, we need to push on it.
Well, maybe someone needs, maybe our manager needs to make the calls. First thing is, if the damage in the road, somebody needs to take a picture. You need a picture.
I got that.
Yeah, pictures to show what they're doing, and then he needs to take it to where he just said.
We have.
And they don't do anything about it.
Even Becky, and then Daniel came to our office with that, and I said, Daniel, we have tried.
Okay.
And Becky said, you know what, as a matter of fact, sit down. And she called, and we got the same answer.
Okay,
They
If
said
y'all will
it's
let
us.
me, I will call Mr. Iglesias in the morning. Can you send me those pictures?
Yeah, I'll send
And
it
then
all.
if he doesn't do anything about it, then someone has to go to the commission meeting and bring this up in front of the commission and see what they're gonna do about it, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so, okay, mine's very quickly, very easily, guys. Just remember, we're very short of money, and we're trying to do a lot with a little. We get some tremendous ideas here, and all these ideas require money. So, hopefully we'll have some answers on this money soon, but, y'all just remember, everything. If you wanna do this, everything needs enforcement. All these rules and laws that we're gonna pass and change, if you don't have somebody to enforce them, they're not worth a nickel. It's not worth even talking about. That's my take on it. And we don't have money right now. We gotta be careful. We gotta be very careful what we spend. So hopefully, by the next meeting, we have some answers that we've been looking for, and then we know in which direction we need to go. But it's a serious matter, and it's a serious matter.
May I say something quickly?
Quickly. Can you do it quickly?
Let me tell you, very quickly.
All right.
Now we have more problem because we have to have the deputy enforcing the rules, the law that they're not allowed to ride the ATVs and golf carts and the side-by-sides. The deputy have to be up to them, have to do the enforcement. They will be allowed to ride freely, then we're gonna have that much time.
Yeah.
I mean, that much trouble.
Then you're gonna have 10 deputies to chase them. Because now it's very easy to spot one and hear one going down the road, and they're all over the place. It's gonna complicate matters. Listen, we'll bring it up the next meeting. The board's gonna decide. Do you wanna override a state law? That's the next thing, liability. Do you wanna override a state law?
Hold on.
All right, we're done.
All right, okay, look, I'm saying, let's go. DOT will come in, they'll do an assessment, and then we'll make it legal.
Who gave us the price on the DOT assessment at the last meeting? Somebody brought us, who yelled out that number? Somebody here said.
Maybe we don't have to go to DOT.
Well, first of all, it's not DOT. Just to change every sign is what? How much?
Oh, it's like 40 something for.
40-something thousand?
Well,
Depending on which sign.
we make, whoever wanna ride the ATV or whatever, golf cart, side by side, they have to pay a permit accordingly, and then we'll pay the amount of the.
All right, well, it wasn't voted on today, so if nothing else, we're adjourning. Thank you, sir.
Good job,